Hi, and thank you for joining me on this short video. Today, we're going to look at the 12 most common mistakes that metal parts manufacturers make that can lead to rust and corrosion. Now, we're all human, so we all make mistakes, but the goal of this video is to help you make fewer mistakes while processing your metal parts. A little bit about Green Packaging Incorporated. We've been in business for about 17 years, and I've been in this industry for a little bit over 30 years. We help metal parts manufacturers prevent rust, improve quality, save money by using our Rust Guard Premium VCI products. We provide these products to a variety of industries, including metal stamping, metal casting, spring and wire form manufacturers, precision machine shops, among others. We have been leveraging our experience over the last 30 years and helping probably close to 1,000 of our customers prevent rust on their metal parts. Just a smattering of our customers and some of the organizations that we belong to. We believe very, very strongly in giving back to our industries that have made us successful. And they include the Precision Metal Forming Association, the American Foundry Society, the Ductile Iron Society, the Precision Metal Products Association, and NESMA, the New England Spring and Manufacturers Association. So we're up to date on all of the activities and all of the issues that the members of these organizations go through every day. So our goal here is to save you the headache, the hassle of customers complaining about rust on your parts that you send them. The average metal parts manufacturer company in America wastes about $250,000 a year on rust and corrosion, believe it or not. And how do we come up with that number? We look at reworking or scrapping rusty parts. We look at return costs for shipping of those rusty parts, labor costs that are involved in sorting the parts. And when we add all of those things together, we come up with a total figure. And for the average manufacturer, it's about $250,000. Of course, it can be less, it can be more, depending on the size of your company. So rust has been around forever. And so have rust preventatives. Some older technologies include rust-inhibiting oils, rust-inhibiting grease. We go back to Cosmoline and Tectil. Some people even try using WD-40, which is not a rust preventative. People try using motor oil, desiccants, and then paint and powder coating are also effective methods for rust prevention. But now we have a newer product that's been around since the 1940s, actually. It's called VCI. So VCI stands for Volatile Corrosion Inhibitor or Vapor Corrosion Inhibitor. It's a complex of chemicals that are rust-inhibiting chemicals that are coated on or impregnated into packaging materials such as paper, polyethylene bags, chipboard, etc. The VCI chemistry is attracted to the surface of the metal, and it effectively coats that surface with a microscopic layer of rust-inhibiting chemicals, and it creates this barrier that won't allow moisture and oxygen to penetrate, and those are the things that are necessary in order to form rust and corrosion. So these VCI chemicals coat the entire metal surface, including the recessed areas and hard-to-reach areas, and effectively prevent rust for up to 36 months. So we're going to look at the 12 most common mistakes that metal parts manufacturers do that can lead to rust and corrosion. Number one is not wearing gloves. Everyone in your plant, whether they be a production worker, inspection, packaging people, all of those personnel, anyone who touches metal parts with their hands should be wearing gloves. There are acids and oils and dirt that form on our hands that can actually create corrosion on metal parts. So number one, everybody in the plant wears gloves. Number two, and we see this a lot, letting metal parts come in contact with wood or forestry products, corrugated, paper, crates, wooden pallets, those sort of things. All of those products, all of those forestry products collect and absorb moisture from the air. And then when you put your metal parts on top of it, you're creating a perfect recipe for rust. So what we want to do is we want to create a barrier between that paper or corrugated or wood. We want to create a barrier with VCI and then place the parts on it. So whether it be a sheet of VCI paper, a sheet of VCI polyethylene, or our VCI poly weave, that should go in first and then place the parts on there. And again, the other reason why is that all of those products, the corrugated and the paper and all that, when they're manufactured, they use sulfides and chlorides and all sorts of nasty chemicals that actually promote and cause corrosion. So creating a good barrier with VCI between any forestry product and your metal parts is number two. Number three would be leaving metal parts out uncovered in the plant. There's all sorts of stuff going on in your atmosphere in the plant. Manufacturing byproducts, all sorts of kind of nasty stuff that can accumulate on the surface of the metal and accelerate corrosion. Forklift exhaust, the manufacturing process, any type of steam that comes out of the plant, all of those things can lead to rust and corrosion. So when you're storing parts in the plant, either have them in a container that has a VCI bag in it and close the VCI bag, or simply cover the parts with either VCI paper or some VCI polyethylene. Number four would be storing your metal parts near manufacturing areas. Again, the atmosphere near the manufacturing areas, especially heat treat areas, produce corrosion causing byproducts. And you can cause drastic changes in air temperature, which can lead to higher levels of humidity. So always move your metal parts to a storage area that's away from your manufacturing area, and especially from your heat treat areas if you have that in your plant. For complete protection, store all of your metal parts while they're in the plant, while they're in process, store them in metal and store that metal in a VCI bag or VCI paper. Number five is packaging metal parts that are still wet from cleaning. We want to make sure that as you package those parts, they're clean, they're dry, and that's the best method of packaging. If necessary, some vibratory action or some airflow would be a way to dry those parts off more quickly. So we want to make sure that the metal parts are completely dry before packing them in the VCI material. Number six is using dirty metalworking fluids or cleaning solutions. So we want to make sure that those solutions are properly maintained, that they're properly titrated, and that they are regularly checked to make sure that they remain that way. Anytime we have when we have metalworking fluids and we have swarf, which is the metal chips that come off of the metal part, those parts the swarf can remain wet, and underneath that swarf on the metal part can be a spot where you're going to have corrosion. So we want to make sure that our metalworking fluids are clean and they stay that way. Number seven is using public water to mix cleaning fluids or water-based rust inhibitors. Chlorine in the public water is kind of a no-no. It can promote corrosion for sure. Most municipalities have a pH of 6.5 to 8.5 for their water, and the pH isn't a quality that's regulated by the EPA, but it can vary greatly. So if it's too low, that's going to cause corrosion. We'll get into that in just a few seconds. So what we recommend is that you use distilled or deionized water to mix your cleaning and cutting fluids, or use a dry, ready-to-use rust preventative. Using cleaning fluids with the wrong pH. We really need you to check the pH of your cutting and cleaning fluids, especially the cleaning fluids, the last fluid that touches your metal parts before they're packaged. We want to make sure that for ferrous metals that the pH is about 9.0, and for non-ferrous copper, brass, bronze, about 7 to 7.75. So we want to maintain that, and we want to check that on a regular basis as well. Anything lower than those figures, anything lower than 9 for ferrous and 7 for non-ferrous, can certainly lead to flash rust and corrosion in the long term. Inconsistent temperatures in the manufacturing and shipping areas when parts are moved around from a very warm area to a cooler area in the plant, that can cause condensation. And we want to make sure that we try to combat that by maintaining the climate in your manufacturing plant, or if that's not possible, to make sure that those parts all through the manufacturing process, while those parts are in process in your plant, make sure that they're protected with a VCI bag or some VCI paper. Number 10 would be using rust preventative oils or grease instead of VCI. Oil and grease can be effective for short-term protection, but generally speaking, it evaporates, it wears off, it abrades because the parts are touching each other, and it'll wear some of the oil or grease off. And then the other thing is, if a spot or 2 or 3 are missed when spraying with an oil, those parts are certainly susceptible to corrosion, and then that rust can propagate underneath the rest of those areas that are oiled. So while rust preventative oils can be effective for short term, they're not the best method. The best method is using a VCI product, such as our Rust Guard Premium. And then using the wrong VCI. A lot of VCI papers are only coated on one side. Our paper is coated on both sides, so you don't have to worry about which side faces the metal. Some VCIs contain chemicals that are hazardous to human health and hazardous to the environment. Our Rust Guard Premium products are completely non-toxic, safe for the environment, safe for employee health. It's really an excellent product. It works very well. We feel, and we have reports to prove that our product works better than the other VCI products that are on the market. And then number 12 is not using enough VCI. So we want to make sure that there's at least 1 square foot of VCI paper or VCI poly for every 1 to 3 square feet of metal surface, plus at least 1 square foot of VCI for every cubic foot of void space. So we need to make sure that there's enough VCI in that package to be effective. Why buy from green packaging? Well, some of our main advantages are that our VCI bags are specifically formulated for your metal parts. All of our products are non-toxic, environmentally safe, and free of heavy metals, nitrites, and amines. Our pricing is consistent and competitive because of the stock level that we keep here. Our products are in stock. We keep a large variety of stock, so we eliminate a lot of price fluctuations. We do carry more stock products available for same-day shipping than any other VCI brand, and we offer the only VCI, industry rust prevention guarantee. So if you ever do run into rust problems and you follow our 12 tips here, we'll return your money. Then we also have our Evergreen policy or Evergreen program, which we take into consideration your normal buying habits and your normal usage. And when we think it's time for you to reorder, we'll send you an email saying, "Hey, it's time to look and see if you need to order some VCI products." So I'd like to thank you for watching this short video. If you have any questions, feel free to please reach out to us. For more information like we've just given you, you can check out our website, check out our blog, or follow us on LinkedIn. All of those links are here. And we also offer a free 15-minute corrosion consultation. So I'd like to thank you again for joining us today, and I'll hope to hear from you. Thank you.